The presenting sponsor. Match day 2 of the Jägermeister Cup concludes with two teams that are tied for second in regular season points. Spokane Velocity hosted and lost the first ever Jägermeister Cup match in penalties, while Omaha's PK win was one of their 5 straight unbeaten in League One play. We're at One Spokane Stadium on ESPN+. Hello and welcome, I'm Ryan Lee, so happy to be with you tonight. And in the Western Group, all 4 teams secured points after tying after 90 minutes. But Omaha and Central Valley led the group going into today with their PK wins. However, Northern Colorado's dominant win in Knoxville earlier this afternoon puts them at the top of the West with 4 points. A win for either Omaha or Spokane can put them at the top of the table going to the 25th. On offensive emphasis, Spokane will look at Luis Gil. He led the Velocity in the same way he did 2 years ago with Union Omaha, initiating set pieces, finding the open man, and sliding one home. Gil leads the expansion side with 2 goals and 4 goal contributions so far in League One play. And for Union Omaha, take a look at Pedro Dolabella. He scored a goal and an assist in last week's match against Tormenta. He earned Team of the Week honors for the 8th week of the regular season. The 24-year-old Brazilian set up and slotted one home in a 3-minute span to give Omaha the 2-0 lead after a dozen minutes. Dolabella should be an offensive energizer for the Owls. The Jaeger Cup started with a bang. Of the 6 matches in round 1, 4 draws going to penalties, 4 game tying or game winning goals in second half stoppage, but 2 teams without points. We're closing out match day 2 of the Jägermeister Cup with Union Omaha in Spokane. Lineups and kickoff next.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Live on the edge this summer with professional soccer in Spokane. Check out the Velocity FC 5-match flex package. You get to pick 4 matches and see an international friendly versus the renowned Chivas de Guadalajara from Mexico on June 2nd. Secure your matches and seats while this special offer lasts.
Spokane is the home to the highest level of professional women's soccer in the country. Spokane Zephyr FC will play at One Spokane Stadium this August. Get your season tickets now. The winds of change are blowing. Be a part of history with your Zephyr FC.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Spokane Velocity and Union Omaha are both second in the league in terms of regular season points. However, with Spokane, they want to recover from the opening match loss, while Union Omaha, they want to keep the train rolling and get back-to-back wins in the Jägermeister Cup. For Spokane Velocity, they are very much sticking with what they did last time versus Central Valley. They've had a 2-week layoff, and for Coach Wiedemann, he wants to kind of keep that flow going with the layoff. And only one change of note, and that is going to be Smith heads up to the top of the 4-2-3-1, while Ariel Mumba takes the midfield slot for his first start in USL League One. For Union Omaha, the last time they played in the Jägermeister Cup was in that midweek competition versus Northern Colorado, and they've got a couple of changes going on. Wallace Lapsley keeps his place in net. Adam Almish gets his first chance to start in League One, and Zico Lewis, that mid-season signing, number 11 up there in the forwards, he made his first appearance in the Jägermeister Cup versus Northern Colorado. He now gets his first chance to start for the Owls alongside Masao Rodriguez, who has scored 3 goals in the last 2 games. Expect Lewis and Rodriguez to really become the offensive dynamic duo that Dominic Casciato has been hoping for in the second round of the Jägermeister Cup. One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Velocity FC, they're in the whites. They will go from right to left in the first half, while Union Omaha are in the blacks with the green going from left to right to start things off as we await the opening whistle. Spokane, they took Central Valley all the way to penalties but lost in the PKs, while Omaha, they took Northern Colorado in a 2-2 draw after 90 minutes of play. However, they were able to secure the win off of the back of Wallace Lapsley, their netminder, as we start things off here in Spokane. Omaha started off with the ball to kick off the first half of play, and Spokane wanted to make things go after having a 2-week layoff. They haven't played since that opening round of the Jägermeister Cup in Central Valley. They hosted the first ever match in Jägermeister Cup history, them in Central Valley, back on the 27th of April. That one resulted in a 1-1 scoreline after 90 minutes of play, but with the new rules of the Jägermeister Cup, all draws go to PKs. They do earn a point apiece if you go to a draw after 90, and regular scoring rules apply where it is 3-0 for a regulation win and loss. Spokane have it now. They're in their offensive end. A little bit of back and forth as no one's quite able to get a clear possession, but Spokane, they look to charge up ahead, wanting to go up ahead. Up for Mumba. He plays this one back, trying to weave on through and centering Fee, but that one was just a little bit too overhead, and it's still controlled by Velocity. Waldeck. A chip up along the far side. Reedy couldn't quite save it from the end line, so it provides an opportunity for Omaha to push the ball up the pitch with the first goal kick of the match. We've had an opportunity to speak to both coaches about some of the nuances that this new competition will bring. And both of them essentially said the same thing, how last week there was a lot of, not necessarily confusion, but a lot of uncertainty of what can be brought for the League One Cup, as it's the first time that the Jägermeister Cup has been in existence essentially, and with some of the new rules, some of the new details, with the increased emphasis in scoring, with no draws, everything going straight to penalties. There's not a whole lot of certainty with what was going to be provided for either side. But what we do know is that both teams, they're going to take their opportunities, they're going to take their swings regardless. Omaha coming off of that 4-2 win versus Tormenta back at Werner Park a week ago from today, but a chip up ahead, and now 1v1 battle. Heel goes down, and a bit of a question mark as to what happened. Referees point to a yellow card as well as a set piece. Luis Heel, the ex-Union Omaha player, draws the foul, and an opportunity for Spokane to potentially take a set piece right at that semicircle outside the 18. A drive up the pitch, as we've been talking about Luis Heel. He just draws a little bit of contact and gets that yank down off of the arm. That was Luke Mastrantonio, who was the one who brought Heel down. And that provided the first yellow card. So Luke Mastrantonio was the one who drew the yellow card on Luis Heel. He was a substitution the last game versus South Georgia Tormenta. So he's not necessarily coming off of a start like he normally would, but he has been today, and he provides Spokane with the first opportunity of the match. Andre Lewis stands over the ball, as it's struck on and just barely gets swatted away by Wallace Lapsley, but a corner kick will come for Spokane. The first opportunity for Spokane, there was a possibility that that one was right on net, but Wallace Lapsley, despite not having any regular season matches under his belt, he's been sharp, especially in that last match versus Northern Colorado. Despite conceding 2 goals, ended that one going to penalties. Served into the back post. That one is headed down. Rebound is not available as that one gets booted away. Quick touch upward by Metenaire. Spokane still with it as they gallop up ahead. Just trying to bob and weave. The back heel was a little bit too far from Metenaire, but he controls once again. Hesitation. Lewis. Back from Metenaire, centers that one in front before that one gets kicked out by Holt. Metenaire out wide once again, wants another service into the area, headed on, but Wallace Lapsley gets a hold. Wanting to go quick was Lapsley, but Mastrantonio, he's getting pestered. He takes a spill as that one's gonna be turned over the other way but a little bit too aggressive, as Kemarney Smith was a little too aggressive on that play. So earlier, Master Antonio, he was the one who conceded the foul. That time he draws it. We talked about Spokane and their long layoff and how they haven't necessarily been able to come to form because they haven't had the opportunity to play in such a long period of time. But Velocity FC, they know that sometimes when these situations come, it gives them an opportunity to improve themselves, really reflect on what's gone on. As we take a look at Coach Wiedmann, just aside from that throw-in, really wanting to just continue to develop the game model, develop their offensive identity as an expansion franchise, as that one is going to be poked away. Long-range shot from Lewis is going to go wide. And it looks like it'll provide another goal kick for Lapsley, who tries to direct traffic. We just mentioned Spokane, how they had a long layoff, those 2 weeks off. However, with Union Omaha, it's essentially the exact opposite story, as ever since May 1st, they've had 4 games within an 11-day span. They had the Jägermeister Cup match midweek versus Northern Colorado, played at home against Tormenta on Saturday, then went to the Open Cup, taking on Sporting Kansas City, where they went all the way to the 120, where they eventually conceded in the 120th to take that loss versus SKC by a score of 2-1, and now they have to travel all the way halfway across the country to Washington State. Konga, he was so sharp in that match versus Tormenta. Got a couple opportunities, hit the crossbar a time or two, but gets played all the way back for the Spokane back line before it gets poked away by Colin Fernandez. Carlos Merancio. Spokane, that one was a triple team off of the feet of Ahmad Longmire. And Velocity are back in business. Lewis. Martinaire goes all the way back. And eventually goes back from Merancio, who was the man in net in that Central Valley match to open up the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Not even just opening up the match, but opening up the entire tournament's existence, as that one gets pitched along wide. It's Pierre Reedy. He scored the first goal in Jägermeister Cup history, weaves through a man, sets it up, and gonna get a deflection on. Still in the possession of Spokane. Long range feed is gonna be a little bit too high, but still maintains the possession of Velocity by Martinaire. Lewis. Lewis and Martinaire play catch back and forth as Martinaire tries to look for an available option. Spokane, however, despite the long layups, we kind of mentioned how they took that opportunity to really figure out what they want to do and kind of develop their game models. And the key question for Lee Wiedmann going into all this was how to keep the team and each individual sharp despite those long layoffs, but also trying to keep things fresh, keep the fitness level high, because you have a team like Union Omaha who has played so much on the exact opposite spectrum. They've been going at it for so long. Maybe 2 games in between, a span of 3 days here and there, but a drive ball comes all the way up. Masayo Rodriguez, he's 1v1. Rodriguez! Masayo Rodriguez! 4 goals in 3 games! The first goal for Omaha! We're at 11 minutes! Messiah Rodriguez, he went 1v1, just gets the 5-hole of Merancio. He scored a brace in that Northern Colorado match to open up the Jägermeister Cup. He also scored a goal on Saturday versus Tormenta, and he's got 4 goals in 3 games for the 20-year-old loanee from the Chicago Fire. That brace for Messiah Rodriguez was not only the fastest brace in Union Omaha history, he was also the player of the week for Jägermeister Cup match day 1. Union Omaha, they have yet to concede first in any competition across the entirety of 2024. So whether if that be the Open Cup, the Jägermeister Cup, regular season play, whatever the game has been in 2024, they have scored first. And Spokane Velocity, on the other hand, they've conceded first twice, and both of those matches ended in losses. But a drive up ahead, Luis Gil up against his former team, wants to try to even this game up. Centering feed, stumbled into the feet of Mumba. Back to Gil. Fed into the area, headed down, second chance. Poked away by the head of Brandon Knapp, but Spokane still have it inside of the offensive half. Long drive, unable to get the deflection, just a little bit too far out of the reach, and provides Wallace Lapsley a chance to send the goal kick away. Lagos Kunga was credited with an assist on that Rodriguez goal. That's his first assist of the 2024 season. The 25-year-old from Angola has been very strong since becoming a part of Dominic Casciato's side. He's been getting opportunity after opportunity. He didn't break through at all in the 2024 season. He got his swings a couple of times, whether it be in that match last week versus Tormenta, where he hit the crossbar a time or two. And he's just been one of those guys who is always around the play. He's someone who really is able to create his opportunities and find them when they're available. But his side, Union Omaha, still contained possession of the ball. Carlos Merancio wanting to go deep, able to complete the pass. All the way down for Roman Metaner, who sends it away for Andre Lewis. Longmire. Gil. Up again, racing after his Metaner, saves it off of the end line, wanting to go for the dot. No second chance available, as that one gets cleared by the Omaha defense, but Spokane will get a throw. Pedro Dolabella scrapping with his former teammate Gil before it gets chopped off to Kunga. Before it gets stripped away, a shot goes and we're even! Andre Lewis! 5 minutes after Rodriguez, it's Lewis with his second in 2024, and we are tied at 1. Sometimes pressure just comes, and sometimes you either crack or you make diamonds. In that case, Kunga could not contain, and staying all over that ball was Andre Lewis, The 29-year-old from Jamaica buries that one to level this game at 1. And for Spokane, you can see that early goal in the 11th minute. And the question in those type of situations is always how you respond. And if you are Velocity FC, that is absolutely a way to respond for Lee Wiedman's side. Lewis trying to get back involved in the play again with the throw-in of Matenaer on that far sideline. Wanting to go deep. Stuck in the legs of Smith. Matenaer retrieves that one back. He takes a stumble, and that will provide a foul. No card given. Only one in the 3rd minute for Master Antonio, but none other than that. Conga, Dolabella finds a man out wide and charging up ahead. That's Knapp. Almish couldn't keep that one, so it's going to be chipped along for Spokane continue in the 18th minute. We talked about the fatigue that Dominic Casciato's side is probably facing, and we potentially expected a lot of changes as Wallace Lapsley. He did play that match versus Northern Colorado where he was so strong despite allowing one goal that you could probably argue was a stinker. It was just kind of similar to that Lewis goal, actually. Just a little bit of pressure from the front line, back line unable to necessarily clear, and that actually provided the hailstorm with the equalizer to put that game at 2-2, and that's kind of the same thing that Spokane just did. Get a little bit pressure up the pitch, really try to force the hand of the defenders, kind of get their backs turned towards the field of play, and then just kind of poke in the rebound whenever it's available. And that's exactly what happened between Andre Lewis and exactly what allowed Northern Colorado to take that May 1st match all the way to penalties. Wallace Lapsley, when it counted the most, he came up huge. He blocked 3 penalty kicks against Northern Colorado to give that extra point to Union Omaha. And in doing so, he was a member of the Team of the Week for Match Day 1 of the Jägermeister Cup as a honorable mention. And rightfully so, as a stumble goes. And a little bit of jarring back and forth. We've kind of talked about that workload that Union Omaha have been facing for the last couple of weeks with 4 matches in the span of 11 days. And it's not even just what they've done or how much Omaha has done rather, but what they've been able to do with it. Dominic Casciato really credited his guys with the way that they were really able to bring it to some of their opponents, like Sporting Kansas City, the MLS side, taking them to the 120 and just conceding one at the very end. And no matter what happened, keeping their defensive structure the entire way around and showing not just themselves, but essentially the entire soccer landscape that they can compete with anyone, that defensively they can soak up the pressure and play in the counterattack. Now a counterattack. Congo gets the deflection, but it comes up and over. So we just talked about the counterattack from Dominic Casciato's side, and they just provide the opportunity there. A diving block up in front by Spokane's goal scorer, Lewis, who was sliding down. As Congo took a shot, it went over the net. And now the first corner kick opportunity for Union Omaha. Both sides at a corner apiece. Sent in, headed down, and that one gets swallowed up by Carlos Merancio. He's played in every single match for the inaugural season for Spokane Velocity thus far. Ties League One in terms of clean sheets. and he's been in net for all of the 6 games that Spokane has played so far, leading them to a regular season record of 3-2-1. But Knapp churns up the offense for Kunga, where Dolabella absorbs it. Sends it out wide before it's held on. Almish. Almish just tries to go for a goal, but a little bit too far off the mark. And now a chance for Merancio to dissipate some pressure with a goal kick. Our head official, Rafael Bonilla, along with Eric Kruger and Sergey Selan for the assistant referees, and our 4th official, Joshua Madison, keeping track for our stoppage and our substitutions. But changing up the offensive possession, Zico Lewis slipping and sliding before it goes off the official and off of the Spokane clear. So this will stay in the possession of Velocity FC. Marcelo Log will take over the 23rd minute. It's a 1-1 match between Spokane and Omaha. Masayo Rodriguez in the 11th minute off of a feed from Lagos Kunga, and Lewis off of a turnover deep in the offensive end for Spokane. Now deep in the offensive end is Spokane. Second chance gets booted up away by Dolabella. Heel heads it down, kept in by Knapp. And Kunga tries to keep that one in play, but is unable to. Rodriguez, can he get a brace? Splits it out, hesitation, shoots, and that one is right into the lap of Carlos Merancio. Couple of opportunities here for Union Omaha after Spokane opened up the match with a couple of chances, as Adam Almish just took a quick hesitation, examined his options, and just went for goal. At the midway line goes Arya Mumba. Mumba steps on the gas, goes for Kamani Smith. Mumba again. He's just distributing around, so Luis Heel will deflect that one off of the legs of Zico Lewis, and it provides a chance for this ball to stay deep in the Omaha end as Spokane will take a corner. Second corner for Spokane in the 25th minute. Luis Heel on the ball. Headed up, but that one is going to be absorbed by Wallace Lapsley. So that one was heading to that back post where there was a couple of white jerseys in the way, but the 27-year-old from Seattle will take it down. Washington native Wallace Lapsley is from Washington in the Seattle region. He played both in 2022 and 2023 in Tacoma with MLS Next Pro with the Defiance after getting drafted in the second round by the New York Red Bulls. And he's been really good coming off of the bench for Casciato side, but now it's Rodriguez. Centers up in front, but too far off the back. Second opportunity comes, shoots, and that one goes off of the stomach of a defender up in front. And it gets cleared by Spokane. Knapp holds, but as the play stops, we saw in the last shot opportunity the beaming shot from the foot of, I believe that was Adam Almish who took the shot. As one of the Spokane players is down on the pitch. And the training staff will come to attend. Marcello Log. He's played every minute of play in Spokane's season thus far in all League One competitions. Just took a heavy block off of that shot that was creeping up inside of the box. Played last season with Las Vegas Lights at the USL Championship. Had a couple opportunities throughout his college career, whether that be where he ended up in Hofstra or the two schools he transferred from, George Washington, the Atlantic 10, and Coastal Carolina. We're in the 27th minute of a 1-1 match, USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a look. Log is still there. Taking a quick chit-chat with Lee Wiedman before he seemingly re-enters. The play continues on as that one just gets poked out of play and will go in the favor of Velocity. Log re-enters the match. And Derek Waldeck will take over on the throw-in. Slip on the ball, still in play off the foot of Knapp, stolen away by Heel. Konga takes a tackle, but unable to take possession. A quick chip up into the air, no one able to get it, so it goes off the feet of Pedro Torabella. We mentioned him in the open, how well he did against South Georgia Tormenta. He got a goal and an assist, all in the span of about 3 minutes to earn himself a spot in Team of the Week in the regular season, but gets taken down by Will Perkins. Perkins with a shot goes off of a body up in front. Perkins still with it, getting watched by Waldeck. Konga makes a nice little juke move, and now Konga drops it off. Too far for Lewis. And Waldeck says goodbye to that one, but not for long, as Knapp still has it. Dolabella. Will Perkins, in his first season with Union Omaha, just sends this one all the way back. Early possession numbers, 60% in favor of Spokane, but several shot opportunities so far. It's 5-4 of shot attempts in favor of Omaha. Can they get a 6-shot attempt? No, they cannot. The defense from Spokane stays strong. Ryan Jiba was pressing up, and that one just a little bit too far off of the back, but just barely able to stay in play. Throw in Spokane, going quick. Ryan Jiba gets taken down. Just a quick little caution from the official as Heel and Jiba get tangled up. As you just kind of see the jostling back and forth. It was initially some contact between Jiba and Ariel Mumba, but that second bit of contact after Jiba fell, he basically landed right into the feet of Luis Heel. Half an hour into the match, Spokane want to charge up ahead, comes to the near side, goes Reedy, chipped in, but no one available. Second chance goes, but way too high to hit the net. And a little bit of aggravation on that far side, as there was no foul called as it comes near side. Mumba just sends that one all the way across. And the shot was taken by Pierre Reedy. He wanted to get his second goal in the Jägermeister Cup. He scored the first goal in Jägermeister Cup history against Central Valley. He has 0 goals in the regular season, but did get that one in the Jägermeister Cup. As that one gets sent up ahead. Almish tries to get up on there, but Marancio is there first. Marancio clears that one, but it goes well into the first couple rows of the stands. Conveniently back on the pitch, as that's where it's going to go for a throw. Couple of injuries to take note of for Spokane, a couple of missing pieces, as Grayson Dupont is out with a knee injury, as is Michael Rojas with a foot. Spokane trying to make things go, and with Union Omaha, they've been pretty clean for the most part, as there's been nothing crazy going on their side of things. But in terms of Omaha's side of things, they've won a free kick off of a whistle, and Zico Lewis stands over the ball on the 2-man wall for Spokane. 33rd minute. Is this a chance to break the 1-1 tie? Lewis goes in. No deflection there. Second chance. Knapp spin around. And that one could not quite get a full swing on it, so Marancio pounces on the loose ball. Opportunities for both sides. High danger from both Spokane and from Union Omaha. And this is from two sides who, when you look at them from the outside, they've been really strong in terms of keeping balls out of their own net and getting balls in the other one. With Spokane, they're top 3 in terms of goals scored, but they're also within the top 5 of fewest goals against. Quick touch up it goes. Reedy sends that one back. A quick scrap. Almish gets a touch and goes out. Union Omaha in the regular season, they have the least number of goals allowed. But if you take it out in terms of the average span, they're actually second in terms of goals allowed average, only behind Knoxville. They're the only 2 squads in League One who allow less than a goal per game. But right now, Omaha, they have let one in, as has Spokane. Throw in towards the corner for Spokane. 35th minute, 1-1 draw. High lob and high reception for Lapsley. Three shots on target apiece for two sides who have really been going at it. About 35 minutes deep. In terms of regular season play, they are 2 of 4 teams who are tied for second place in points. It's Omaha, Spokane, as well as Charlotte Independence in the mix as well. So these two sides know how to produce, and it's really an exceptional job by both these two coaches, Lee Wiedman and Dom Casciato. Who Casciato, by the way, was the head coach of the Team of the Week of Week 8 for the regular season. As that one's getting chased down by Rodriguez, so it's going to be chipped out by Marancio. And a quick disruption there as Knapp takes down his man. That's Reedy. Lee Wiedman, he was an assistant coach for Charleston Battery, the USL Championship side last year that made their way to the USL Championship finals. They won the Eastern Conference last year. Pierre Reedy was a holdover from that team who decided to join Coach Friedman all the way to the Northwest. Now it's going to be sent towards the net, but just a little bit wide right as an opportunity came for Spokane to potentially take the lead. As Luis Heel, we talked about his ability to set the plays up, just hit Kemarni Smith right in a spot where he could take it, where the defender was unable to potentially strip that one away. Spokane getting their opportunities in. With Union Omaha, they're coming off of essentially their best offensive producing performance of the season. They had 3 goals going into last Saturday's match versus South Georgia Tormenta. And once that match versus Tormenta was over, they scored 4 in that one match alone. So sometimes it just kind of takes one of those moments, just kind of catch fire and just run with it. Especially for a team like the Owls who take over 10 shot attempts per match. And that's another thing that the Owls really pride themselves on, is getting high probability scoring chances and trying to get to the right areas of the pitch. As sometimes that takes a little bit of time to really understand and to really execute at a high level. And believe it or not, for Union Omaha, at least through the eyes of Dominic Casciato, they have yet to hit their top gear, as they are still kind of in the understanding and building process of what their offensive identity is. And sometimes regularity of play can really force the issue and can really put things into the forefront as you kind of get those several games in a row where you have performance after performance, 2 days off, 3 days off instead of the full week, or in Spokane's case, last 2. Dolabella goes across the entire width of the field, trying to go for Kunga before it gets taken away by Mumba. Smith, he's 1v3 right now. Smith holds, drops off, Mumba. Has yet to get a goal or an assist. Ariel Mumba, in his first start of his League One career, he sends it back. Waldeck into the box, and holding on is Wallace Lapsley. Sal Rodriguez in the 11th. Andre Lewis in the 16th. A quick little slide from Will Perkins. He's able to recover before leaving it for Lewis. Out wide, Kunga. 1v1 with Waldeck. Heel encroaching, and Heel with the steal, and sends it out. Mumba waits for reinforcements. Out towards the corner, Spokane trying to look for an opportunity. Just getting pestered by Brandon Knapp. It's still 1v1. Knapp still draped all over, and now he gets some extra help from Almish. And Omaha able to take it away with Adam Almish. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you Caruso's, De Leon's, Taco and Bar, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Jimmy John's, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Steam Plant Restaurant and Brew Pub. I'm sure after 41 contested minutes of a 1-1 draw, one of these guys might need some extra fuel, as we're 5 minutes to the half with stoppage. Good old number 9 from Jimmy John's with some barbecue chips. Sounds pretty good right now. But anyways, sounding pretty good right now is Spokane's offense. They look to charge up ahead. Foul stops play, so it provides an opportunity for Spokane to advance the ball upward near mid-pitch. Spokane's offense too, as a foul comes right near or right beyond the halfway line. Luis Heel checks on his teammates after one of his old teammates was a little too aggressive on the attempt there. Ariel Mumba gets back on his feet with a little bit of assistance as he just takes that shin to shin from Pedro Dolabella. Ariel Mumba, the 22-year-old from San Jose, spent the last 2 seasons in MLS Next Pro with Columbus Crew 2. Is able to walk on his own power, which sometimes when you see those type of leg injuries or that type of contact, really helps things out in the long run. But making a run before coming out wide. Here goes Pierre Reedy. Lewis. Reedy slips on his own 2 feet, but he just will send the pressure all the way back before it gets touched up by Marcelo Log. Mumba back involved with the play, but he gets stripped by Conga. Conga with some space, a little bit of miscommunication with Masao Rodriguez. Finds his way back to Carlos Marancio. Two minutes to go in the half plus stoppage. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. One minute from the end of the half, plus potentially a little bit of stoppage time with a couple of injuries. With a couple of goals as well, which are split. Shots are currently split, as are shots on target, 6-6, 3-3. Knapp wanting to go for the interception, but now an opportunity, sent into the area, deflected on, but it's still inside of the field of play, as it's being kept in by Ariel Mumba. Dropped off Waldeck. He's got Mumba behind him. He's getting eyed by Knapp. Sends it to center. Lewis scored the opening goal for Spokane. Second of the match. Comes all the way back for Log. Log getting pestered by Rodriguez. So he just retreats for Marancio. Spokane, the second match of a 4-game homestand, and in a stretch of 5 matches within 7, all within the Jägermeister Cup. Advancing the ball goes Metaner, but he tries to send that one in the general direction of Lapsley's net. Might have taken a touch, so it will just be fallen on by Wallace Lapsley, as he will hold on and let the clock go to 45 as they have an extra 3. Fast-paced half for these two sides. Adam Almish with a touch pass up one at Conga, but gets a whistle after a foul from Romain Metaner. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. As this Select ball takes a spot just on the edge of the attacking third, Ezekiel Lewis surveying his choice. A minute and a half into stoppage. Sends that one into the area, headed away by Log. Second opportunity goes for Omaha, but they are going to be well off target. Carlos Marancio, we mentioned earlier, he started in every single match for Spokane Velocity, at least in League One play. 25 years old from Mexico, spent last season in the USL Championship with the Rio Grande Valley Toros. He just uses all the leg in the world he can, but sends that one into the first row. Under the final minute of stoppage time, can either team potentially take this halftime with a lead, or will we still be level at 1? Churning along, and a quick little move there from Mumba. Sent in the area, deflected, but that one was just off the mark. Camardi Smith drove into the 6, but was wide off of the shot. And a nice little passing play from Mumba, just able to elude the attack of Perkins. And then you had Camardi Smith right at the 6, couldn't get the touch on, and it goes wide for a Lapsley goal kick. Fast-paced, clean match. 2 goals, 1 yellow card. Lapsley sends it away, and that will conclude the first half. After 1, we're at 1-1. Omaha scored first in the 11th, and 5 minutes later, Spokane would tie things up. Round 2 of the Jägermeister Cup, the final match of the weekend up in Washington State. Wallace Lapsley has only let one in. Carlos Marancio has only let one in. And these are 2 sides who have really been able to get the job done in the regular season, and they're getting the job done so far in the Jägermeister Cup. At halftime, Spokane has won, Omaha has won. We have plenty from all around USL League One and the Jägermeister Cup.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Spring is here, and so is Velocity FC Professional Men's Soccer. Don't miss the historic first season in one Spokane stadium. Feel the rumble in May with 3 home matches on Saturday, May 11th, Sunday, May 19th, and Saturday, May 25th. Get your tickets now.
Spokane is the home to the highest level of professional women's soccer in the country. Spokane Zephyr FC will play at One Spokane Stadium this August. Get your season tickets now. The winds of change are blowing. Be a part of history with your Zephyr FC.
We're back here at One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington, where the home side Velocity are tied up at 1 with Union Omaha, as we are in match day 2 of the Jägermeister Cup, as we take a look at match day 1 and what's commenced throughout the Jägermeister Cup thus far. The first match of the Jägermeister Cup went west, where Spokane Valley hosted Central Valley Fuego. Pierre Reedy will get the first goal in Jägermeister Cup history in the 20th minute in this match, and both goalkeepers were stellar, but a penalty kick from Robert Coronado in the 90+4 would send this thing to a penalty shootout, where Zahir Vasquez would take the edge and the first 2 points for Central Valley Fuego. We go from Spokane all the way to Greenville, where the Triumph take on the Kickers, and this was another back and forth affair. An early penalty given up provided Nil Vigneaults a chance, but not a Barry. But that wasn't too far too soon, as Ryan Sierakowski would eventually get one in the 70th, and just on the brink of the elimination, Evan Lee buries one in the 89th off of the set piece. And once again, 2 games, 2 sets of penalties. Richmond Kickers will take it 5-3. You thought 2 penalties were enough? How about 3 sets of PKs? South Georgia Tormenta hosting the Charlotte Independents, where Juan Carlos Obregon has been pristine since arriving with the Jacks. He scored the opener only 8 minutes in, but Sebastian Vivas, the back post off of the corner kick, 90+3 to send this one 2 PKs. And in the 5th round, 10th PK, no goal there. Austin Pack was off the door, sends Charlotte with a pair of points back home from Statesboro. As we go to Chattanooga, where they hosted one Knoxville, it was a back and forth affair. Both Knoxville and Chattanooga were able to get their opportunities, but it was the single header off of Jordan Skelton that finally breaks through for one Knoxville. That would end up being the only goal of the match. That's the first goal in Jägermeister Cup history to end in regulation. Lexington SC played host to Ford Madison, where it was a very tough, physical, and scrappy battle. We see that scrap between Robinson and Boyce would produce a red card for Robinson, and the second yellow for Yannick Yanka would bring Lexington down to 9. 9 men, no problem. Kalen Fox with the header in the 90+3 to give the go-ahead and game winner for Lex SC. And last but finally not least, some midweek action in the Jägermeister Cup, as Union Omaha would play against the Northern Colorado Hellstorm. Northern Colorado would take the early lead, but just off the doorstep of halftime, Masao Rodriguez would score not once, he'd score twice, as he gets the fastest brace in Union Omaha history with 2 goals in 82 seconds. Northern Colorado, off of some pressure, would eventually get the equalizer to end regulation at 2-2, but Wallace Lapsley stopped 3 Hailstorm PKs to give Omaha the advantage, 3-2 in the PKs, but the 2 points in the Western Group.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
What a moment.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Everybody every night won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It would take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
We return here in Spokane, Washington, where Velocity FC and the Owls are knotted up at 1 after 45 minutes of play. We already saw some action across the Jägermeister Cup. Now some updates around the entirety of USL and USL League One, as we have another expansion franchise coming to the USL League One, Westchester County, New York, just outside of New York City in the Long Island region. They will get a USL League One expansion franchise scheduled for 2025, including in the mix, you got the Portland, Maine franchise, Naples in Florida, the Santa Barbara Sky, a lot of growth within USL and League One, as well as Texoma. They have named a Premier League head of coaching, Adrian Forbes, who was named the sporting director of Texoma SC, another one of those League One expansion franchises in 2025. So we'll go from 12 to 17 in only the matter of about 12 months from now. And in only the matter of about 1 month from now, USL League One on ESPN2, where the Flamingos and the Ibises, a battle of the birds, will take place on ESPN2 for some nationally televised USL action. And some scores from around the Jägermeister Cup. It has been goals galore. We saw kind of that lack of goals in the first round of the Jägermeister Cup, where the only match was that Northern Colorado and Omaha match that went over 2 combined goals. Every single one of the matches so far, except for that Chattanooga-Richmond match, have gone over 3 goals, which is an exact flip of what we saw in match week 1, where only 1 game went over 3 goals. Now all but 1 so far have gone over 3 goals. Spokane and Omaha, they're only 1 goal away from that, as we kind of see how things have shaken up so far. As we not only look at what's happened, let's look at what's happening for the Jägermeister Cup in round 3. 6 matches across the board, 5 on Saturday. Union Omaha will play once again midweek on a Wednesday for the Jägermeister Cup. They will be taking on Central Valley Fuego. Spokane will take on the top of the League One regular season table in Greenville Triumph. Well, it's been playing from the USL. We'll come back after this.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Spokane is the home to the highest level of professional women's soccer in the country. Spokane Zephyr FC will play at One Spokane Stadium this August. Get your season tickets now. The winds of change are blowing. Be a part of history with your Zephyr FC.
Live on the edge this summer with professional soccer in Spokane. Check out the Velocity FC 5-match flex package. You get to pick 4 matches and see an international friendly versus the renowned Chivas de Guadalajara from Mexico on June 2nd. Secure your matches and seats while this special offer lasts.
It's true true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Celebrating the magic of an exciting new tournament, and it's been excitement all the way through after a third-minute yellow card from Luke Mastrantonio provided that first set-piece opportunity was stopped by Lapsley, and another opportunity was headed on for Kimarni Lewis. That one was set up out wide from Roman Mataner, but Lapsley has been sharp again. And for Masayo Rodriguez, he's got 4 goals in 3 matches, and he just slots that one home off of the 5-hole from Carlos Merancio. But sometimes things just work out in your way. Some offensive pressure can create some defense. Congo with his back towards the play just gets pickpocketed right there by Andre Lewis and is able to send that one into the back of the net for the equalizer to put that game at 1-1 in the 16th minute. Another opportunity from Lagos Conga takes the deflection right in front off of the goal scorer Andre Lewis. Conga was looking for his first goal of the 2024 season, but was unable to. As we are back here at One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington, Union Omaha and Spokane Velocity, they're squared up at 1 after 45 minutes of play. And for both of these two sides, in the opening match, they both went to penalties. It was tied after 90 minutes for both of them. For Spokane, they scored the opening goal off of the leg of Pierre Reedy, who scored not only the first Jägermeister Cup goal of that match, but also the first goal of Jägermeister Cup history, where eventually Central Valley would strike back. They had a 90+4 penalty conceded to force that one into PKs, and with Union Omaha, they had a back-and-forth affair with Northern Colorado, where eventually Northern Colorado would equalize late in the match. Not as late as 90+4, but still within the second half. After taking halftime for Omaha, they were in the lead 2-1 versus Northern Colorado. They conceded in the second half. But right now, we're level off at 1, and we are underway for half number 2 here in Spokane. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus broadcast crew with you in the great state of Washington, where the home side, they are looking to come back after a relatively tough stretch. They've only had 1 win in their last 4 matches, but off of that, they are 3 straight unbeaten, and a couple of those were draws. They got a draw versus Central Valley, that penalty shootout that we aforementioned. They got a win the match before that versus the Richmond Kickers, and they got a draw versus Lexington. But a quick charge up ahead was have Merancio come up and take a lay down on the ball, but he is got his hand on his lower leg, on the right leg, which is always concerning no matter who you are. Whenever you're starting netminder, kind of starts reaching, especially for those lower extremities. The question is always how that kind of plays out over time. I'm sure Lee Wiedemann would want anything other than to have his starting netminder out of the match. And nothing against Peter Swinkles, but he just hasn't played a match against a League One opponent in 2024. As all of them have gone in the favor of Carlos Merancio. But his teammate Andre Lewis is slow to get up. He's been dinged up earlier in the first half, and he's kind of back on it now. Marcelo Log stands over it. Lewis pitches that one around. Colin Fernandez sends that one back before it's sent straight up ahead. A quick interception on the play by Pedro Dolabella. He takes a tumble. The inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup continues on Saturday, May 25th, with the third round of games in group play, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Watch all Jägermeister Cup games streaming exclusively on ESPN+. We're on ESPN Plus for the Jägermeister Cup Round 2, the final match of the match day, as we've had a couple of electrifying matches in match day 1, at least in the context of the group in the West. There's been a couple of matches that have really gone down to the wire. Lexington, Central Valley, they went to penalties. In Central Valley, in back-to-back Jägermeister Cup matches, they took that win versus Spokane in the opener 2 weeks ago. However, they were unable to seal the deal. They lost 4-1 in PKs. As Masao Rodriguez takes a strip down, and it draws a penalty for Omaha. Rodriguez is unable to get up. He's grabbing that left leg. Rodriguez just charging up ahead. And that initial header by Ahmad Longmire, I personally didn't see a problem with the header, but it was that secondary grab on the shoulder kind of had Rodriguez in an awkward position in the next stride. Ahmed Longmire, 24 years old, pardon, a UCLA Bruin. And now Masaila Rodriguez is getting tended to by the training staff. He already scored a goal so far in this match. We've mentioned his 2 goals versus Northern Colorado. He had that additional goal versus Tormenta, so that's 4 in 3 matches. He's down on the pitch in the penalty box. As if you were to take a judgment on the spot right now, who's staring right in the face of Carlo Merancio, you see Pedro Dolabella, you see Zico Lewis, but it looks like Lewis will fan out. So Dolabella and Lewis. It's Dolabella on the PK. Dolabella versus Merancio to take the Omaha lead. Dolabella on Merancio. Scores! Dolabella, 2-1 Omaha off of the penalty. That's 2 goals in 2 straight games for Pedro Dolabella. And Omaha have the 2-1 advantage. Merancio had the right idea. He went to Dolabella's right, and that's exactly where the shot went, but Dolabella just perfectly picked out the corner, just barely out of the reach of the 6'2 Merancio. And Dolabella, 2 goals in 2 consecutive matches, gets it off the PK in the 51st minute. Dolabella did not take a penalty attempt against Northern Colorado in the last time that Union Omaha had a chance to take penalties. But he was able to drill it that time, as that one goes off of the assistant referee off the tackle from Anderson Holtz. Union Omaha up 2-1, and of the 6 Jägermeister Cup matches from today, 5 of them have been over 3 goals. Long throw in for Metanar, headed away, pinballs around, but it just gets rolled out of play, so provides Metenair with another chance for a throw. So in the Western Group, Omaha currently have the advantage. As we kind of mentioned earlier, Central Valley, they went 2-2 with Lexington, where Lexington would eventually win in penalties, so Central Valley gets a single point. And Heel sets up in the box, headed off, and that one goes off target. A goal kick provided for Wallace Lapsley. He's had a couple opportunities to really come up big, but that one not necessary, as the header for Smith was wide. And Lapsley will take his sweet, sweet time with this one. Mentioned in the open, Northern Colorado, they got their 3 points in Knoxville. They took down one Knox by a score of 5-1. It was 4-1 at the half for the Hailstorm. And for the Hailstorm, it's been a very interesting season for them, because if you look at their regular season numbers, they don't look great. It's 2 goals in 4 games in the regular season, but put them in the Jägermeister Cup, they've got 7 goals in 2 matches for Northern Colorado. And in terms of the Jägermeister Cup, Spokane will go to Northern Colorado on the 29th of June, while the Owls will host the Hailstorm on the 1st of June, but that's in regular season play. And as we kind of go through some of the tiebreakers of goals scored being that secondary tiebreaker to head-to-head matchups, that can play a really interesting role down the line with that 5-1 performance from the team up in the Rockies. Pedro Dolabella took the lead only about 3 minutes ago off of a PK that was drawn by Masala Rodriguez, where Ahmad Longmire was the one to get the shoulder tug inside of the penalty area. Longmire takes the free kick back. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Omaha sends this one the other way as Kunga, he's getting double teamed. Trying to walk away with it as Waldeck, and he does. Waldeck inward, still in possession of Velocity. Heel, off of his heels. Heel scores! Luis Heel against his former team draws level at 2. Luis Heel had that one stuck at his feet, but just evaded Dolabella and then just smashes that one into the right side. And Wallace Lapsley could only do so much. A nice turnover at the start of the possession from Derek Waldeck, and then it just got passed off from Waldeck to Smith, Smith to Heel, and Heel, he's got the team lead in goals going into the day, and he continues to do just that. Continues his team leading goals. That's his 3rd in League One play for the 30-year-old who spent both 2022 and 2023 with Union Omaha. Won a Players' Shield with them last year. He had 3 goals and 9 assists in 49 matches with the Owls a season ago. Beats the keeper of his former team to keep this game level at 2. Kunga out wide, sent in, and it's easily held on by Carlos Marancio. That is the 10th shot attempt for Heel. As Smith centers up, leaves it behind for Lewis. Back for Heel, tries the back heel, but it just gets popped up in the air by Jiba. Velocity FC still with possession, goes for Waldeck. Into the area, down for Heel, wants the overhead kick, but couldn't quite get a clean finish on that. And a takedown right outside the box. Play on, says the head official. As Adam Almish is getting past third and stripped away by Reedy. Reedy was credited by Coach Friedman in terms of his performance, just staying humble, staying hungry, always trying to improve, and trying to improve the score line on the back appeal. On the back post goes Heel, but he goes just wide of the target. But you cannot blame the frame of thought between Waldeck and Louis Heel. And that's part of what makes Spokane really dangerous in the grand scheme of things. They are top 5 in League One in terms of shot attempts, and they also lead the league in terms of passing percentage. So they're going to be able to advance the ball up the pitch and allow every single player to get a touch on that, as that one had to get a touch on it by Marancio before a potential touch from Omaha to potentially take the lead. As we kind of mentioned before, some of the nuances of this new Jägermeister Cup. Some of the nuances are new to a lot of these head coaches, and no team truly had an understanding of how to prepare for a tournament such as this because it's brand new of its kind. As Smith is one-on-one with Holt. Leaves it back for Metaner. Return for Smith. Takes a shove from Holt. Smith looking for an option. Louis Heel takes it down. Play on. And Zico Lewis puts on the accelerator and goes left for Rodriguez. Goes left to right. Wanting to pass it along, but it gets blocked along. Mumba gets taken down. He's back on his feet. Scrapping 1v1. But it's back for Louis Heel. Gets a quick touch on it and a quick wave of the flag. Upward goes the official assistant referee. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Omaha getting serious here as it gets chopped off. Lewis tried to go for a goal off the left post, but it did get a deflection, as it did seemingly kind of steer right unexpectedly, so it definitely took a deflection along the way. So it will give a corner kick to Union Omaha, as Zico Lewis, who took the shot to force the corner, will also take it. One in the first half for Los Bujos. And this is their first of the second half. Mild wind, 69 degrees. Lewis inward, and that one just gets jarred all the way around before it goes out. Adam Almash sets that one in for Dolabella, and he retreats that one all the way back for the back line that has made some changes. Marco Melanese enters as Casciato wants to potentially remove that yellow card taken by Luke Mastrantonio, and that's what he did at the half. Adam Almash looking for an opportunity, but it's stripped away by Lewis. Heel sends that one deep. Smith in a foot race, but Melanese takes it all the way back for Lapsley. And ball sent all the way deep for Meraccino. Marancio sends it off. Longmire. And a quick drag down, tug of the jersey. Waldeck still in play. Waldeck up in front, takes a deflection. Lapsley jumps on it. And after all the commotion, we saw that very obvious tug of the jersey off of Derek Waldeck. Omaha continuing to get pressure. Lewis Heel stepping up, but Lapsley just sends that one up. And it comes back towards the feet of Reedy. Reedy avoiding Dolabella. Metaner cannot quite keep that one in play, but it is going to be a foul back in the general area of the box. And it looks like Marco Melanese, amongst all the scrapping, will take a booking in the 63rd. But they let that one play on for the throw-in, and that might have been for Melanese on that play where Waldeck was streaking along that far sideline. He had that jersey tug that we saw from Waldeck. So a trio of subs going for Dominic Casciato. He wants to swing, he wants to switch things up. Norde Norti, he got that opening goal versus South Georgia Tormenta. He replaces Zico Lewis. Joe Gallardo enters the match to take the place of Will Perkins, and Adam Almash is done for the night as Aaron Gomez takes his place. So 3 subs for Omaha in the 65th minute. And we'll see how this can play out in the grand scheme of things. We've heard from Dominic Casciato, at least throughout today's broadcast, of how much work his team has been putting in because of the sheer number of games that they've played, and how in these type of quick turnarounds, no matter what happens, these type of stretches are not necessarily very easy, and the days are just kind of irregular. And no matter what happens, it's always an intense set of work for teams like Union Omaha when they're on such a short turnover between games. Especially when you have teams like USL League One where the squads are relatively small, so there's fewer mouths to feed when it's all said and done. But getting the feed up for Pierre Reedy, he's into the box. Reedy shoots, stopped by Lapsley, and cleared off of the box by the Owls, but a throw-in for Velocity. Going quick, Heel sets up, lets that one fly. Mumba couldn't get the touch on it, but he gets the chase. Quick pursuit for Spokane. They get the turnover. Fed into the middle. Reedy tried to evade his own one man, but couldn't quite get it. Deflects back to Smith. Heel with a shot. Goes off of the body up in front. That's Ryan Jiba. And cleared out of the way. Dolabella chases. He's getting pestered by Waldeck. And eventually just able to save it off of the line goes Dolabella. Nordy, he entered the match in the 65th minute off that trio of subs. Got a goal versus Tormenta to earn himself a spot in the Week 8 Team of the Week. Nordy back on it. Omaha still in pursuit. That's intercepted by Log. Omaha sends that one up for Kamarni Smith. Gets triple teamed before it gets taken away by Anderson Holt. Trying to go overhead, but Merancio will just send that one off. Velocity fans, scan the QR code to get your single match day tickets today. Colin Fernandez transitions upfield. Andre Lewis past the halfway line. Out towards the near sideline goes Mataner. Will Alexa just go back for Longmire. Heel scored the equalizer, 2-2. Waldeck sent into the box. No one able to get the touch on it for a redirect. And a 70th minute opportunity goes for a goal kick. Just opportunities for both sides. Pierre Reedy stepped into the box, tried to go for goal, and Wallace Lapsley, just using that large frame of his, 6'3", 200, was able to get a touch on it. It is part of the reason why Omaha is still very much in this match, despite the fact that Spokane have had opportunity after opportunity. They've had 5 shots on net, but now Rodriguez, he steps in. He wants a shot on net for Omaha. He gets dragged down. This time, he doesn't get a penalty, unlike last time. Spokane want to turn on the gas. Quick touch-up from Metaner. Streaking through ball along the end line goes Reedy. Reedy centering, can't get the touch on. Second chance goes, charges up. Lewis wanted to pump, couldn't pull the trigger. Lewis lifts it up wide. Metaner into the box, headed on, but Lapsley able to catch that ball en route before it hits the back of the net to keep this game level at 2. Long ball, Rodriguez. He's got one man to beat, that's Marcelo Log. Shoots, and that one is just wide. Masayo Rodriguez, chance after chance. He did score the opener, but ever since then, he's been just going for the net and has just been pumping out shot attempt after shot attempt. That last attempt that went wide puts Masayo Rodriguez at his second shot attempt of the match. Another chance available. Reedy, 1v1. Reedy! He just barely missed, but had Lapsley beat. And that has been what Spokane have been trying to take advantage of all match long. The near side attacker, Reedy, Lewis, Metaner, whoever it may be, that near side has been a window of opportunity for Velocity. They just have not necessarily been able to convert those opportunities. But we have seen probably ever since the hour mark in the past dozen minutes, it's that near side, near side, near side. That's like the third or maybe fourth attempt all on that near side to either set someone up in the box or to just take a solo shot. So a couple of changes in the midfield for Lee Wiedemann. Josh Doling and Jack Denton will both take their opportunities in the 73rd minute, while Aria Mumba and Colin Fernandez, they will both be done for the remainder of this match. Josh Doling got an assist on that Pierre Reedy goal for the first one in Jägermeister Cup history. And Jack Denton, he's got a tie for the team lead in goals with 2 in 2024. Gallardo wanting to accelerate, but couldn't quite get there. Jiba loses that one in his feet off of a poke away by Reedy. But Omaha still have possession. A little over 16 minutes and stoppage. Scrap in the corner. Gomez couldn't keep it in play. Throw in Spokane. Gomez enters in, goes back, Dolabella. Nordy takes a deflection, goes up and out of play. A corner kick, an opportunity for Union Omaha. Can they take the lead? It's 2-2. Omaha did get an opportunity off of the corner. They haven't converted yet. Sent into the box, and that one will be snagged by Carlos Merancio. We just passed the 75-minute mark. Merancio will send this one away. So we've seen 5 subs in the span of about the last 10 minutes. 3 for Union Omaha, 2 for Spokane. Gomez has Knapp. Knapp goes for goal, but Merancio is there. With Union Omaha, despite what they've gone through in the recent couple of days in terms of going to the 120 versus Sporting Kansas City and getting beaten in the 120th in heartbreaking fashion, one thing that they can definitely hang their hat on is that they showed, whether it be the MLS or other League One teams themselves or just USA soccer fans as a whole, that they can compete with anybody. And defensively, they can soak up pressure, play on the counterattack, and also speaks to the variety of ways that they can win, considering how they've had a shootout versus Tormenta and kind of a grimy 2-1 defensive match against Sporting Kansas City. And now they're kind of in a bit of a combo of both here in Spokane. Ball falls, Rodriguez captures. And Spokane comes in transition. Reedy taken down by Jiba. Clean tackle, says the official. Konga couldn't keep. And now a tumble between Konga and Roman Metaner. Different styles, different opponents, different levels, and almost every single time, Omaha has just found their way to make it work. Quick charge up. Lapsley had to be quick, as zooming through that far end was Kimarni Smith. "26 shot attempts, 11 have gone on net. Both have gone in favor of Spokane, but Omaha look to add to that total as they take possession with Ryan Jiba. Dolabella has that one go off of the leg of Waldeck. So this will be the third corner of the half for Union Omaha, the fourth of the match. Spokane have yet to earn one corner in the second half after getting 2 in the first 45. Another thing that's interesting is in that match versus Tormenta, Marco Melanese and Joe Gallardo, they were the ones taking the corners last Saturday versus Tormenta. And they even got some swings versus SKC, but Ryan Jiba stands over the ball to send it en route for corner number 4 in the 80th. Jiba punched out by Merancio and goes out of play, but it will become a throw-in for the Owls. Juggled inside the box. No one can quite get it. Gomez just a little out of his reach. So it's poked out by Spokane. Kept in play. And that will be a foul against Gomez on Reedy. As we are just past 80 minutes, 10 to go plus stoppage. If result holds, we go to penalties. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Spokane charging up ahead. They're in the attacking end. That goes out wide. Waldeck into the box, gets deflected, and that one, Lapsley had to be sharp on it, as it could have been a potential own goal off the foot of Marco Melanese. As the whistle blows, as Cameron Miller and Javier Martin Gil are ready to go. As we also see Blake Malone getting ready as well. And we're waiting on the fourth official. Javier Martin Gil and Cameron Miller already. Blake Malone, local product of Omaha, Nebraska, is on deck for Union Omaha as well. Some miscommunication between the officiating crew. They're trying to get this. They're trying to get the subs on, but they still have yet to flash the board, and there it is. So Blake Malone will take the place of Pedro Dolabella, and then for Spokane Velocity, we got heel for heel. Javier Martin Heel in for Luis Heel. And then Cameron Miller comes back on the defense for Marcelo Log. Cameron Miller, 24 years old, from Seattle University. And then you have Javier Luis Heel. He got his start in the Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid Academy programs for the Spaniard. And then Blake Malone, as we mentioned earlier, takes the place of Pedro de la Bella. So a trio of subs, the 83rd minute. So in the starting 11, Omaha only had 3 defensemen, and now they get one in with Malone taking a step up. Four subs apiece. Both squads have 1 substitution left to go, with 5 minutes to go plus stoppage. Sent into the box, a little bit too far. Melonesa lets that one go out of play. So the 5 midfielders was really one of the plays that Dominic Casciato wanted to do. Potentially try to spread out some of the minutes, because you had a lot of young guys within that center 5, with Adam Almish, 24 years old, Brandon Knapp, 24 years old, Pedro de la Bella, 24, and Will Perkins as well, with only 3 defenders. And now you sub on a midfielder for a defender. You kind of go a little bit more of a 4-back that Omaha has used for predominantly the season. But sometimes with these new substitutions, it takes a little minute to get the feel of the game, as Jack Denton takes off the throw off of the miscommunication from Omaha. Martinaire swings it up ahead. Plays this back. Denton. Denton, Martinaire, still in play, into the area. And that one is going up and out off the foot of Ryan Jiba. Still in possession of Spokane. They've had over 55% of it. Martin Heel. Still in play. Martin Heel couldn't get the deflection on, and just barely poked away by the sub on Malone. Denton chips this one up ahead, leaves it behind. Another chance into the back post. Stopped by Lapsley. Rebound gets blocked away, but still in play. Martinaire, and a quick touch for Smith. Still in the field of play. Andre Lewis comes back. We're tied at 2. End to end. Martinaire swings it in. Back post was just a little bit off, as Smith tried to go for the poke to potentially beat Lapsley, but only goes out of play instead. Just opportunity after opportunity for Spokane. They've been threatening. That header from Martin Heel off the bench could have potentially given Spokane the lead. Another chance for the back post, just barely stayed in. And that was just opportunity after opportunity. You saw Kimani Smith involved. You saw Javier Martin Heel involved. And now Rodriguez almost had a free run, but instead, damage gets dissipated by Spokane. Velocity fans, scan the QR code to get your single match tickets today. And I'm sure with the way that Spokane has been playing in recent form, you don't want to miss any of it, because that identity that Lee Wiedemann wants to really set up. Just a lot of offense, and a lot of really exciting play with their production on the offensive end. But now Omaha on the offensive end. Masao Rodriguez takes a sprint. Rodriguez goes out. Gomez, he waits for reinforcements, drops it back. Knapp gets tackled away, and it comes all the way back for Marancio. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Minute and a half plus stoppage. And there's been a lot of opportunities for stoppage when that moment comes, whether it be from the penalty that was taken by Ahmed Longmire to set up the Dolabala PK, whether if that be the 8 substitutions that were taken all within a span of 18 or so minutes. There's even a delay in that second window of substitutions where there was that triple sub, the 2-in-1. That took a little bit of time as there was some miscommunication between officiating crew. A lot of dead balls as well. Velasquez gets banked off of the chest of Joe Gallardo and out. Keeping this one in play, Metaner, watched by Gomez, spin move, and a takedown from Gomez from behind. And there's a foul. Is there a booking? There's only been 1 yellow card in the second half, 2-all match. We're in the 90th. Can either team break through for a potential game winner? We are at the 90-minute mark, and Gomez will take a yellow. You could really get Gomez for a myriad of things, whether it be the initial foul that's forcing the current stoppage that we have, but it looks like there was no card given for that initial foul. So most likely this is for some of the chit-chat afterward. So we got 8 minutes between the delay in the substitutions, penalties, and just so many stoppages in play. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, De Leon's Taco and Bar, Burger Dock, Fish Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Jimmy John's, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Steam Plant Restaurant and Brew Pub. Long ball taken up, swung at by Marancio. Question for both of these teams is, at least in Jägermeister Cup play, they've already taken things to penalties once. Do either of them want to go back and do it again? Long ball comes all the way up. Malone trying to chase, but stripped away from Waldeck. He sets out a breakout pass. Pierriti disturbed by Nordy. And Waldeck just comes back for Cameron Miller, who boots it up. Lewis. Spokane continuing upward. Javier Martin Gil, 2 weeks from his 24th birthday, sends this one in. Metaner, inward, Skill scores! The 90+3, the go-ahead goal! Spokane, 3-2! What a setup from Spokane. The question was, who would break through? The setup from Roman Metaner and the deflection from Javier Martin Gil. He gets on the board on the 90+. And Spokane have taken the lead and put the pressure on Omaha to potentially give the Owls their first loss in 2024 League One play. So after everything that's happened, Javier Martin Gil, he scores in the 90+3 and then gets the ensuing yellow card for taking off the shirt on the celly. Javier Martin Gil, he's 2 weeks from his 24th birthday. That's his second career goal of his professional career coming out of Missouri State. And now for Union Omaha, an opportunity for a long streak to get snapped. They're one of 3 teams to go 5 unbeaten in League One competitions. The other one was Charlotte Independence. They had that streak snapped earlier in the afternoon. Does the same fate follow for Union Omaha? Lagos Conga. Advancing upward goes Brandon Knapp. Conga again through a swarm of velocity defenders. Conga still on it. Charges up, but blocked away. And an opportunity for this one to be cleared, and it will. Long-range shot from Gallardo, but it's held on by Marancio. A distant shot for Gallardo, but Marancio has been sharp. You take out the PK, Marancio has gone 5 for 6 on saves. Watch the USL Championship on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports, Golazo Network, and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. And the Jägermeister Cup on ESPN+ has most certainly not disappointed. 3-2 in favor of Spokane Velocity in their first year of existence. Have a chance to beat one of the heavyweights, Union Omaha, in the Jägermeister Cup. Spokane off of a 2-week layoff. Omaha with 4 matches in 11 days. The first meeting between these two sides in their history. And the game has probably gone about as expected. High flying, offensive, 28 shots combined. But also moments of goaltending and defensive excellence. Final minute and a half. Martin Gil scored the go-ahead goal, sends this one up. Not quite out, it is held on. Gomez lets that one go out of play as Smith gets the poke. And for Lee Wiedemann, is this a chance to beat a team where he was in the region? Lee Wiedemann was a part of the NAIA Bellevue University within the Nebraska region. Shot gets blocked. Another opportunity for Omaha. They're still in play. Outside of the box, headed in. Gomez couldn't get the touch. Second chance gets cleared out by Spokane. 90+8, we're at the 8. Goes to number 8, Norte Norte. Gallardo, watched by Gil. Gallardo into the box. Cleared away by the Velocity. Holt Knapp. Final minute of play. Can Omaha force PKs? Gallardo sent in, deflected wide by Gomez. And a goal kick for Spokane. Spokane have yet to get any type of result whenever they concede the first goal. They did that in the 11th minute. They came back from 1 goal down to 1 goal up. 98 of 90 plus 8. Mirancio sends it away. Is there one last gasp for Omaha? Gomez out of play, throw in for the Owls. Nordy, end to end. And stripped away by Waldeck. But we do have a player down on the pitch. He is struggling to get up. Roman Metaner, he's been so strong for this team. Leads Spokane in goals for the 34-year-old from France. He's been so strong in his career prior to joining Spokane, whether it be being a MLS All-Star with Minnesota United, with being a part of the Madagascar international team, or spending almost 200 matches in Europe. As he just tried to get a poke on, and it looks like it was potentially a non-contact injury for Metaner. He just kind of goes down, and he's getting examined on, looks like, that left leg. But he gets helped off, and a throw in for Omaha on the far side. We're into the hundreds. Omaha with a throw. One final gasp for the Owls. Sent up, couldn't hit Rodriguez. Kunga still going. Into the far side. Gomez right towards Mirancio. Mirancio away. The injury might have added some time. Omaha wanted Rodriguez, a bouncer, couldn't hit Gallardo, and that will finish this match. Spokane take down Omaha and give the Owls their first loss in League One play. Final score 3-2 in favor of Spokane. And Spokane with the 3-2 win over Union Omaha. As we take a look at our play of the match, there were opportunities galore, but when it's all said and done, when you have a 90+3 game-winning goal, how else can you go anywhere else? Player of the match presented by Modelo, and it was Metaner right before he got injured, set it up in front for Javier Martin Gil for his second goal of the 2024 season. And whether it be Modelo, whether it be Jägermeister, celebrations all the way around in Washington State. They take down Union Omaha for their first loss in League One play, and Spokane will earn the 3 points to launch themselves to a first place tie with Northern Colorado. More from this match when we come back.
Spring is here, and so is Velocity FC Professional Men's Soccer. Don't miss the historic first season in one Spokane stadium. Feel the rumble in May with 3 home matches on Saturday, May 11th, Sunday, May 19th, and Saturday, May 25th. Get your tickets now.
Spokane is the home to the highest level of professional women's soccer in the country. Spokane Zephyr FC will play at One Spokane Stadium this August. Get your season tickets now. The winds of change are blowing. Be a part of history with your Zephyr FC.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. The USL Jägermeister Cup. We wanted goals, and we most certainly got them. 3 for Spokane, 2 for Omaha, and these 2 matches most certainly did not disappoint after 90+ minutes of play. It was an early goal to start things off as we take a look at what got us to this final scoreline as we take a look at our full-time highlights in the final match of match day 2. Asael Rodriguez started things off in the 11th minute with an assist from Lagos Kunga, and then just some offensive pressure from Andre Lewis, and sometimes that's all you need, a strip and a bury for the Jamaican to get his 2nd goal in League One play. And then sometimes you never know what you're gonna get. Ahmed Longmire to kick off the 2nd half, provides Pedro Dolabella with a chance to send it in from the spot, and he was perfect. He's got goals in back-to-back games for the Brazilian. But Luis Gil, against his former team, he says, I won't come out here without getting on the scoreboard, and he does exactly that. Stumbled in the feet of Dolabella, Gil picks it up, and he buries it for the 2-2 equalizer to put Union Omaha's lead to 0, and then in the 90+3, the wide angle opportunity from Roman Metaner, deflected off of the bench from Javier Martin Gil. He was in the match for 10 minutes of play when this ball went in, and that was what sends Velocity into the win column. 3-2 the final score, and there were 30 combined shot attempts between Spokane and Omaha. That shot on target number very even if you really consider how things went in the grand scheme of things in terms of the offensive production for both Spokane and Union Omaha. They had their chances. They were going back and forth. It was a finely contested match between these two. They're both getting their jabs in. However, Martin Gil off of the bench with the knockout punch to get Spokane those extra 3 points and sends Omaha with 0 back home to Nebraska when it's all said and done. And that will do it for us here in Spokane, Washington. An electrifying match on the doorstep of Mother's Day. 3-2 the final score, where Spokane Velocity gives Union Omaha their first loss in League One play. That's going to be all for us and our entire ESPN Plus crew. My name is Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us, and have a great rest of your night.